Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman of the subcommittee, for your courtesy and for members of the subcommittee. I think the three panels combined are very good witnesses on behalf of meritorious pieces of legislation that we will be considering and amending, and I look forward to having the opportunity to contribute to that effort. I do, because of a potential conflict, would like to speak on H.R. 2473, in which our colleague, Mr. Harder, testified earlier. As a co-sponsor of H.R. 2473, the S.A.V.E. Water Resources Act, this is an important piece of water legislation that provides additional tools in our water toolbox to provide solutions to sustain California's water resources. We are going to have a very good witness on the third panel, a person who I've worked with over the years, Ms. Thea G. Hansen, General Manager of Del Porto Water District. She and I have worked on previous projects before, a very innovative reuse project that now is an implementation that ultimately will provide 58,000 acre-feet of reuse of water. The project that she and the exchange contractors with another very good general manager, Chris White, who works on behalf of the exchange contractors, talks about the innovation that we have in California with our water districts, working in partnership with one another, both on local, state, and federal projects. And the Canyon project, the Del Porto Canyon project, is such a off-site reservoir that would benefit from the passage of H.R. 2473, which is among many reasons why I'm supporting this piece of legislation. It creates a water infrastructure fund. Potentially these funds could go to a lot of projects like the Canyon project. It supports water storage. This Canyon project is not only an infrastructure project, but it's a water storage facility that has no opposition that I am aware of. It provides $100 million for storage funding. It provides a monetary prize, as Congressman Harder said, for innovative water technology. We are at the cutting edge. Some of the most innovative water technology and efficiencies have been practiced for decades because water is so valuable, and because of the drought conditions. And people talk about the Israelis, and I've been to Israel, and they do incredible things, but I started an exchange 20 years ago between the Israelis and Fresno State, and many of our water districts implement 95% drip irrigation and more to conserve this very valuable water. But this monetary prize can be helpful. It provides reclamation for infrastructure and finance innovation funding. It provides reauthorization for rural water supply for our clean drinking water. We have, sadly, hundreds and thousands of people in the valley alone that live in communities that don't benefit from clean drinking water standards, and we can fix that. The states come up with significant funding for that purpose. This funding in this area will complement the state funding to improve drinking water for citizens, not only in California, but throughout the country. It also invests in additional water recycling and reuse, just like the project that Del Porto did with the cities of Turlock and Modesto. These kinds of reuse projects are more and more being implemented on the local level because it works and it makes sense. And it would also provide, in California, we've got probably one of the most historical and difficult pieces of state legislation that was implemented 2 years ago, called the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act, otherwise known as SGMA. This is a very important piece of legislation. We're trying to manage balancing the overdraft that is taking place in our groundwater basins. It's not easy. The state law would require our water districts by the year 2040 to come in balance. It's the old adage, if you go to a bank and you make withdrawals and you don't make any deposits, you can only do that for so long. And we understand the critical need of the overdraft of our communities. This legislation, if passed and become into law, would provide another tool for our water districts to come into compliance with this historical law in California. So there are many, many good reasons to support H.R. 2473. I know that Thea Hansen will make a strong statement on behalf of the legislation and all the good things she and the other water managers are doing in the San Joaquin Valley. I thank the chairman for allowing me to go out of order and to recognize this witness, and I look forward to working with the subcommittee on this and other important pieces of legislation.
I thank the